Hello and welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities. My name is Rochelle and I'm here to do a reading for water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, wherever you have those in your chart. We all have them somewhere, so there could be something in here for you. That's my intention. Please take what resonates and leave the rest because, of course, you know your story best. All right, so I'm going to start with the wisdom of the oracle, get the baseline of the story, and then we will see what else pops out, or we'll use in other decks, many other decks. All right, we start with round and round in the upright. I feel like it's the first time this has come around upright in a while. To the sea in protection. Come to the edge. Okay, there's something here around, maybe there's a new cycle starting, a new, see the round and round. Let me just look in my book real quick. I'm really familiar with this card in protection. Cycles you are challenged to break, revisiting a pattern from a new perspective. The spiral quality of events when a lesson isn't quite integrated. So this is interesting. So the first part of round and round says the appearance of this card is a reminder that although it may appear that you've gone backward, the truth is that you are standing at a higher level looking down into your circumstances. You will learn something, do something better, and break a cycle set up in the past. Okay. And the reason why that strikes me is because we have come to the edge on the other side of to the sea, which speaks to gaining some kind of new perspective, kind of having come full circle, but now you're higher up on the spiral. And maybe there's some resistance there because this card generally is about needing to go with the flow or going with the flow. And because it's in protection, it kind of makes me think like, I don't know, maybe there's some resistance to surrendering. Maybe you feel like you need to do something a certain way in order to maintain control or in order to have things go the way you want them. But what's happening here is that you are meant to do something completely different. You are meant to take a risk, to take a leap of faith because of the fact that it's time to get off the merry-go-round. It's time to end a cycle, or this is you gaining some kind of new understanding about where you've been, where you want to go, where you're at now. And maybe this need to surrender simply has to do with the fact that you're terrified to take a leap of faith because it is risky. And yet that's exactly what you're supposed to do. And trying to control things, so that it's easier for you to take a chance, like trying to see if you can figure out the future before it happens. And it's like you can't know until you build up the courage to come to the edge and jump towards that new beginning. So let me go to the Light Seers deck. We'll get some more, get some clarification on this. And Jojo made it. Thanks for being here so much. And thanks to all of you for liking and subscribing and sharing if you feel like it. All right. What do we got here? Ace of Wands, King of Wands. Okay. And Six of Wands. Woo! Wow. Somebody else just got a bunch of wands. Was it fire signs? I don't remember exactly, but oh my goodness. As I said before in the other reading, holy wands, Batman. so this is here's your new beginning. This comes from releasing the need to control an outcome. The wands are typically, it's an energy of excitement and adventure, feeling passionately driven towards something, towards a new beginning. The King of Wands, he's my hell yes man. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. Man, I say man because he's a king, but this anybody can embody this energy. So there's success, imminent success and victory over whatever cycle you were in before, because now you are following your inspiration, that inner drive that's just you feel lit up and you just want to go for it. And there can sometimes be kind of impulsiveness to this energy, but I think because of the king, like the kings always get to where they are because they make calculated moves to get into their position. So it could also be where you are moving towards somebody who you consider to be very strong and attractive and um kind of a leader. They inspire you. Maybe this is a part of going with the flow. Maybe someone is saying, hey, come with me, take this leap of faith with me, and I will prove that it will work out in your favor. There's a need to throw caution to the wind. It is not a time to be cautious and to make your pros and cons lists and whatever. This is about following that deepest desire within yourself. Yeah, Kitty is confirming that. It's so funny because she's been fairly quiet this morning. My last reading in this one, she's just going crazy. The yeah, the energy gets really big in these readings sometimes. So let's get some more. I'm going to look at my Guardian Tarot. Seven of Wands. Really, Kitty? Emperor. Aries energy. We've got a lot of fire here. Got a lot of fire here. You could be dealing with somebody who has a lot of fire in their chart. You could have a lot of fire in your chart as well. Kitty, Kitters. Hey, what's going on? Yeah. Is this reading really getting to you? Really? Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Wands, Seven of Pentacles. Surrounding the Emperor. The sevens can sometimes be about kind of it's a very spiritual number. Maybe you're developing some kind of spiritual practice, or you're deepening your spiritual practice that you've already established. But The Seven of Wands is typically about defending yourself. This bird looks affixed to the back of that being there. Oh, and there's a butterfly. Transformation. Always speaks of transformation to me, like substantial transformation. And this is like with the help of the universe. I don't know, maybe birds are sending you message. Maybe you're getting special messages from birds around you, or somehow you're being given a boost from somebody who acts as they sort of help you to rise, help you to soar. They're not a part of you, but but in a way they are. Like they're there to help you. But it's, you know, these two cards both speak of kind of a pause in forward movement. This is stopping to, like, let's say if it is a defensive energy, stopping to like fight off who's ever coming at you. Always having the higher vantage point, but still needing to do that. You can't move forward because you're kind of fighting off who's ever biting at your heels or ankles or whatever. But then, and so it makes me think maybe you're fighting off an emperor type, somebody who is trying to control the situation. It could be that the emperor, the king of wands character, is the emperor, somebody who's like, yes, take this leap of faith with me. um Maybe their father or some kind of father figure, but being defensive towards them. And you're looking at, is this somebody, like, maybe you've already invested a little bit. Maybe they get you really excited, really inspired, and you go for whatever this thing is that they kind of talk you into, which you're meant to do. You're meant to do this, but now you're on the defense. Now you're wondering, is this actually worth my time? Like, maybe you decide to go for it, and then you start to, like, maybe you like to be in control. And this person does too. And maybe there's a power struggle. And you're having trouble getting on the same page or working out your differences. And so you're kind of at this point, you get to this point of like, well, is this really worth it? Can we really work this out? Or are we dealing with irreconcilable differences? And I just need to walk away. I feel like your person thinks that there's success for both of you in this, but it might require patience, especially when you're dealing with someone who's very strong and authoritative, and they know what they want. And it could be difficult to get your point across to this person because maybe they have a very kind of laser focus on what they think is the right way. And so, anyway, something something about this. It could be too that you're having to step into an emperor energy, um kind of leveling yourself up because of having to defend yourself. That doesn't resonate as much for me. I feel like you're defending yourself against an emperor. But let me go with my tarot of mystical moments. I know Kitty has so many opinions right now. Honestly, I had to pull stuff in from my porch today because they're going to be like painting and power washing. And so the kitties got to be outside for a little while. And I think she's like, I just want to go outside again because they don't normally. All right. So we've got the King of Wands again. The World. So maybe you're the King of Wands here. 10 of Wands. Okay. Okay. Kitty. Kidders. Come here. She's not going to shut up. I'm sorry. Okay. So then that makes me think that this initial progression of the Ace of Wands with the King of Wands and the Six of Wands, this is all you. This is, if you take that leap of faith, it's towards something that's really inspiring to you. It's your hell yes, and it's going to lead to some kind of victory, right? Because now we have the King of Wands, the World, and the 10 of Wands. There's major ending here. In order to have a new beginning, you have to close out a cycle first. And I feel like that's what you're doing. You're finally figuring out, maybe you're finally figuring out what your hell yes even is. Maybe you didn't know before. It's very common to not know what exactly you want. Like, I feel like it's more common for people to know what they don't want than what they do want. And this is you coming to that understanding. And so now you're coming to this place of like, I finally figured it out. Oh, yeah. Now I can have my new beginning. Now I know it's, you've gained some kind of knowledge, wisdom. This is the card of like graduating, major leveling up, ending a cycle, ending a cycle, getting off that merry-go-round. Oh my god, she's crazy. And and putting down your burden. You've been carrying this burden for a long time. It could have been, it's that thing where if you're doing anything that is not a hell yes for you, it's automatically a burden. Even if you're like, yeah, it's good enough, it's fine. You not all of you is fully invested in it. It's not super exciting for you. It's good enough. You're settling. And it's like you've been focused on gathering, focused on the beauty and the things that make you happy, but at what cost? Maybe this is you like gathering the nicer things around yourself, having the nice home, the nice clothes, the car, you know, the physical things that you think, or maybe at one point you thought gave you a certain amount of status, and then you finally come to a point where you're like, but what's the point of this? The one who dies with the most stuff wins? I don't think so. You've come to a whole new understanding through this process, and this can happen. In fact, I believe there's a story about it, and I can't think of it right now, but of that idea that we we need to be able to finally acquire what we've always wanted, finally get to live in that place of like, I always wanted this, to have a certain amount of money, or I always wanted to have a certain kind of car, or, you always wanted to have something, and then you finally get it. And then you're like, okay, yeah, okay, this is good, but it's not what I expected. And then you get to a point sometimes where you realize, well, I got to live my dream. Now what? I actually realize I don't want this thing that I thought I wanted. And so there's this finally ending, putting down the burden, whatever you've been building up for a while, working on, carrying, whatever it is, it's heavy. And what you want is something that is light, or that carrying it doesn't feel heavy. It could be a million pounds and you'd be like, it's fine because I'm so excited. Like, you have that extra whatever to carry it and not feel burdened by it. Kitty, come here, kitty. Come here. Hi. Do you want to come say hi? Do you want to come say hi to everyone? Come here. No? Okay. Just not going to say hi. Kitty is dropping the burdens. Kitty doesn't need any more stuff. Sorry, Kitty don't need no more stuff. All right, so I'm looking at the Mystic Mondays tarot. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. Karma going in your favor. Queen of Pentacles. Seven of Swords. This Seven of Swords is very interesting to me because it's clearly some kind of intentional deception. So it could be where you were dealing with someone who, this could have been a marriage, for example, where you were with someone who was like, we, they were very focused on their abundance, very focused on the money and the physical things, and you love them, you wanted to make them happy, and so you continued to collect all this stuff for them. Meanwhile, they weren't really appreciating it. They it was like never enough for them or something. Or this is somebody, I don't know. Let me Yeah, cuz I feel like the wheel is turning in your favor because like there was some karmic thing that you were dealing with somebody. And maybe it felt like things kept not working out for you. And Queen of Pentacles, somebody with Earth in their chart. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What is this Wheel of Fortune? Eight of Pentacles. This is you focusing on yourself. So then the Queen of Pentacles, yeah, focusing on yourself and doing your own work. Maybe you're just diving into work. Maybe you're focusing on some kind of like thing that you love to do, some kind of hobby. The Ace of Wands clarifies the Queen of Pentacles. So it could also be where you focusing on you allows things to start turning in your favor. And here comes this new passionate beginning with a Queen of Pentacles. Again, gender doesn't matter here. A dude can embody the Queen of Pentacles energy. it's but it's now because we have the Ace of Wands again, this could also be where you are the Queen of Pentacles. You're being very resourceful. You're learning how to nurture yourself and those around you. Being very giving, but also focused on your abundance. So then the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is what's tripping me up again, a little bit. What is this? That's true. Kitty shut up as soon as the Eight of Pentacles came out. Time for work. She's like, no, time for sleep. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords about somebody who's being super deceptive. who's trying to pull one over on you. Whether that's somebody embodying this energy or this is you, I don't know, because I feel like you're the King of Wands. I feel like this is a different energy coming in. And it's somebody who seems like a good choice, but in fact, there's some kind of clarity around the fact that they don't have your best interests at heart. Let me get one more. What is this? Seven of Swords, Three of Wands. Ace of Swords, Three of Wands, clarity about your ships coming in, waiting for clarity around action that you've taken, knowing that that's going to bring something to you. But why the Seven of Swords? The Devil, Capricorn energy. One of my favorite devils. She's like the Betty Page devil. um, yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's something too. Does somebody see you as their ship coming in? Somebody, maybe they're obsessed with you or you're obsessed with them. There's clarity about somebody here who is not acting with integrity. Somebody who maybe it's that maybe they see you as somebody who's like their ticket out of their circumstances because you're so driven and passionate, and they certainly feel passion for you. I mean, the devil, that can also be, one of the qualities of the devil is just intense passion, but because of that Seven of Swords, it's like, and the Ace of Swords, there's some kind of truth coming to light, some kind of clarity around somebody who maybe you thought they were really nurturing and just focused, like they were focused on creating a nice home, as a way to, um it's not about the house, it's about the home kind of thing. But then you come to this point where you realize they have ulterior motives. Wow, that just took a really interesting turn. And it's not to say that, but yeah, like I feel like the wheel, I don't know, oh, you know what I bet this is? This is your test from the universe. This person, this is your, have you gotten the lesson yet? Here's somebody who, is essentially the same person as you've been dealing with before. They look a little different, but it's all that kind of same energy. Do you find yourself going back around in that same cycle, or do you try something new? Handle it differently. Two aces makes me think that, and because of the world, this graduation, this leveling up for you is bringing you to a point where, you can see, like, maybe not at first, maybe you don't see somebody and their shady ways at first, but there's a real strong connection here, lots of chemistry and passion, but then very quickly you see some kind of red flag. You gain some kind of understanding that this person is not who they pretend to be. And it's so funny. I keep getting the Beauty and the Beast story, but this is like I have a Beauty and the Beast book. I don't think I have it around here right close to me, but it's before Disney took over that story where it was a little darker, but the book that I have from when I was a kid, it was like the father, so there's Bella, um her she had sisters. I think two sisters. And her father, he was a merchant, and he said to them, I have ships coming in, and I'm going to go and get the bounty. what what can I bring each of you? And both sisters were like, well, I want like a really nice dress and I want jewelry. And then um right, isn't that her name, Belle Beauty? Anyway, she says, bring me a flower. and and ultimately that's what ends up getting getting her stuck at the palace, is because his ships end up sinking, and he comes back destitute, and he thinks, oh, he finds himself at the palace, and he thinks, well, I'll just snip one of these flowers for her, so at least I don't come back completely empty handed. And that's when the beast finds him and threatens to hold him there for the rest of his life, and then she comes, and anyway, so that's kind of it's kind of the scenario I'm thinking of here with the 3 of Wands, where somebody's like, oh, like they seem all into, like they are very much focused on abundance, but they have this nurturing quality, so you don't necessarily see how focused they actually are, that what they really want is the physical. They want the money, they want the car, they want the house, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get it. This is going way over, but there, yeah. So let me, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick some cards from the Osho Zen deck. Sometimes I can get a good little story from these. Let's get potential outcome here. I'm not fully sure what's going on. Change, which I believe is the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, 10. Wheel of Fortune lands on top of the Wheel of Fortune. There's major change happening. And we have the cycle, changing the cycle. Morality. And integration. Somebody somebody's not being authentic. It's like it feels like you're kind of you're getting in touch with your passion, your excitement, your desire for some kind of new beginning, right? Your hell yes. And there's somebody, maybe it's this Queen of Pentacles, who maybe they maybe they're jealous of your excitement, or maybe they want a piece of whatever they know you're going to get because you're so determined. um this kind of energy, this morality, is like, it comes from fear, it comes from a place of being closed off, shut down, lots of judgment. Morality is very subjective, and we see this, all over the planet, from culture to culture. Morality changes, depending on the rules of that particular culture. Somebody is trying to, this feels like somebody trying to put their judgments on you. There's a change. There's a change to this. It's it could be where somebody you're dealing with, maybe you were this way before. Maybe you were very judgmental, and then you putting down your burden of judgment, or carrying some kind of judgments for someone else. Like, it makes me think of, maybe you were a part of a church, Christianity. Various sects can be incredibly judgmental, or just general teachings, in my experience. um and you were carrying that with you because that's what you were taught, that's what you'd always done, and then you started to see things in a new way, from a new perspective, and see that maybe this environment, this group, this uh, showing up in a certain way with these certain judgments is actually vero very narrow-minded, and hold you back. um, Something like this, where you feel like you don't fit, or you see somebody else who you're like, oh, I was actually doing things for them, but now I realize that it was squashing me. That was a heavy burden to bear. Whatever this is, there's an integration here of all the different parts of yourself. This morality card is it's kind of that getting down on anything that is deemed, that falls under the category of passion. And we have the King of Wands twice, the Ace of Wands twice. This is you following your passion. This is you integrating the part of yourself that held yourself back, that maybe you were dealing with some guilt or shame around, like, following your dreams or your passion. And this is coming back to yourself, integrating those different parts, doing that shadow work, learning to be okay. Maybe this is just how you showed up, and it's all changing. This whole karmic cycle is coming to an end, so that you can have this new beginning, so that you can actually embody more of this expansive energy that's inclusive, not judgmental, and uh, opposite of inclusive. um, it kind of makes me think of the dark crystal, where there's the two beings, the mystics and the skeksis, and they were separated because the shard came out of the crystal. And so it's this whole journey to get the crystal shard back, into its proper place, and then the skeksis and the mystics merge into these glorious light beings. And yeah, spoiler alert, but if you haven't seen it, it's a good movie. Anyway, that's what this feels like, is you're merging these parts of yourself that were separated, maybe from childhood. You're bringing them back together, and now you're like this, even more awesome than you were before. It's a glow up, I say. So, anyway, this is really long. I'm just going to leave this here. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And thanks again so much for joining me. Um, and liking, subscribing, and sharing. Bye.